So today I have a surprise for you. We're going to release two blocks, block number 14 and number 15. And that is the Villager and the Pillager, not to be confused with each other. Villagers, they obviously live in a village, hence the name. They work at their professions and interact with each other. You can, as a player, trade with them using emeralds as currency. Pillagers carry crossbows and patrol the overworld. They guard their outposts and participate in raids. For this project, the majority of the yarn that I'm using is Premier Yarn, their basic collections, which is a budget yarn. About $3.79 a skein, and you get 300 and some odd, like 59 or 79 yards. I can't remember off the top of my head. And sometimes I just fill in when I just need an oddball color for a few stitches out of my scrap bin, and that could consist of just about anything. As long as it's a 4 worsted weight, you should be good to go. And I am also using a 6mm hook. But you need to use a size hook that is right for the yarn that you decide to use and your crochet tension. For the Villager, I used 2 shades of brown. One is toffee and the other is walnut. Linen for his skin tone. Green and white for his eyes. And fern green for the border. The Pillager, I used light gray, dark gray, black, white, blue for the eyes from my scrap bin, and fern green for the border. So the next clip shows all the stitches that you need to know to be able to make these blocks to assemble your mob head blanket. And if you've already seen this clip, go ahead and skip ahead 12 minutes to where you get to see what the blocks actually look like. If you haven't seen the clip or you don't know how to do a bobble stitch or single crochet in the back bump of your chain, then you might want to watch the clip. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is make a slip knot. Each one of the graphs, you will chain 16 plus 1 for a turning chain, so a total of 17. You will then turn and do a single crochet into the back bump. In 16 of the chains, you're going to skip the first one. You will back bump single crochet all the way across till you reach the end of the row. And when you get there, you should have 16. Okay, so I have 16. It should look like this. Both sides look nice. Makes it easier for when you add the border. So for the first bobble row, you will chain 3. Turn your work, and we're going to do 4 double crochets, incomplete double crochets, into the same stitch that our chain stitch attaches to. So you yarn over, go through the stitch, pull your yarn through, and go through 2 loops, leaving 1 on your hook. You now have 2. Yarn over, go through that same stitch, pull your yarn through, go through 2 loops, you now have 3. So you can do that 2 more times. We now have 4. So we need 1 more. And that makes 4. Okay, so we have a total of 5 loops because of our chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you want to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. And the very next stitch, you do a single crochet. that single crochet is what gives you the nice pop out bobble. That makes our pixel or our bit. So each bobble stitch after the first one in every row, you do 5 double crochets together, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to do that for a total of 5 times. So that was 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to yarn over, pull through all 6 loops. You had 6 on your hook because you had 1 loop remaining from the single crochet. Then you follow that up with a single crochet. And then repeat that for the next bobble. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. This is 3 and 4 and 5. See how we have 6 loops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over and go through all 6 and follow that with a single crochet. And see how our pixels are popping out? Okay, so you'll do that all the way to the end of the row. When you get to the end of the row, your very last stitch is a single crochet. And it should look like this with 8 bobbles. Yes, it's going to curl up at first. As your work moves along and it grows, it flattens itself back out. So for the next row, which is the beginning of row 2, we do a single crochet, turn our work, and then we're going to place a single crochet in each stitch. When you do above the bobble, make sure you're only getting those top 2. Don't work down into this. You're going to put a single crochet into the single crochet and a single crochet into the top of the bobble all the way across. And when you make it to the end, you should have a total of 16 single crochets. So it should look like this. A row of single crochet all the way across. Then you will, for your next bobble row, you will chain 3, turn your work, and do the 4 incomplete double crochets into the first stitch. The first stitch meaning the same stitch that your chain 3 is connected to. Pull through all 5 loops and follow up with a single crochet. So when you get to the part where you're going to do a color change, you want to do it in the single crochet. So pull your working yarn forward. Bring in your new color, leaving a nice tail so you can work it in. And you're going to complete that single crochet with the new color. And, pull it snug, not super tight, but pull it down snug. And we're going to work over top of those. So we do a bobble because our color change was in the single crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through them all, and a single crochet into the next stitch. Now this particular one has 2 of the black bobbles. So do the second one. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through all 6. Go to do my single. Now I need to go back to my other color, and I carried it with me. I don't always carry it with me, but these are such small surface that when I only have 1 or 2 blocks of one color, I will carry the color with me if that is what comes next. Okay, so I'm going to pull my black forward, bring up my other color, complete the stitch with that, and we're going to tighten it down. You know, just make it a little snug. And then we go right into the bobble stitch. Single crochet. Okay, so that looks nice and clean from the front side. Oh, I didn't bring my scissors with me. Okay, so I'm just going to let that fall forward there and move on to my next bobble. Okay, so depending on which pattern you're working on, you're starting to see it take shape. You will continue this process for all 8 rows, and then we will come back for the border. Okay, once you've completed your block, you want to put a border around it. Each of the blocks will have a border just to make them easier to sew together. So you're going to start wherever you would like. And some people like to start in corners, some people like to start on the actual edge of it itself. So you're going to single crochet into each stitch across the top, and each stitch across the bottom. When you get to the corner, it is a single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into the same space, chain 2. We're going to work past the bobble and into the stitch where the bobble and the single crochet meet on the side. Sometimes it can be tough like that one was. Okay, chain 2, skip over the bobble and come into that single crochet. That one was a little easier. Chain 2, skip over the bobble, go into the single crochet. So that is how you handle both sides. And the corners are single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Across the bottom and the top is just simply a single crochet into each stitch. The second round of the border is double crochet in each stitch across the top. Okay, the corner gets 5 double crochet. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. When you come down the sides where you did the chain 2, the chain 2 gets 2 double crochets, and the single crochet gets 1 double crochet. So 2 double crochets into each chain 2 space and 1 double crochet into the single crochets. So you will work that all the way around, the top and bottom, 1 double crochet in each stitch, all 4 corners, 5 double crochets, and the bobble sides where the chain 2s are, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the single crochet. And once you complete that second round, your block border is complete. So it's 1 round of the singles and chain 2s and 1 round of double crochets. And it looks pretty darn cool if you ask me. Okay, so for those of you who watched that clip, that wasn't so bad. Looks pretty simple, and it is. It takes a little getting used to get that muscle memory down, and you always have to double check and make sure that your bobbles are lining up like in columns so that you get that pixel or bit effect. But yeah, I pulled out a few rows where I've gotten off on my stitches, and it's like, oh no, where did I go? What did I do? But yeah. So I just pull it out and redo the row, but I always check after every single bobble row before I even start my return row of the single crochet to make sure that my stitches are lining up. You know, better to take a second and check it out than get 3 or 4 rows down the road and see that you're all out of whack. Are you ready to see what these guys look like? Which one do we want to see first, the villager or the pillager? Let's do the pillager. Remember, he guards the overworld, or patrols the overworld and guards his outposts. Okay, so here he is. Get that string out of the way. I didn't sew in my green. Here he is in all his glory. He's got some big bushy eyebrows going on, blue eyes. Light gray, dark gray, the fern green for the border, and again, this lighting just doesn't do the colors any justice. So that's a pillager, and when you look at it, you can see the pixels or the bits, how it has all that texture to it. It's real squishy. It's nice and comfy. So that's your pillager. And this is the villager. So he's got 2 shades of brown. He's got this long nose looking thing. Green eyes, which this green is the same color as the fern green. I was just like, it's here. Let's just use this one. Linen is his skin tone. And he has the same type of texture. They look a little different on the back side, so you can definitely tell there's a front and a back to it. So that's that. And to find the graph, which I didn't mention before, it is an 8x8 graph, meaning it's 8 stitches wide and 8 rows. So to find the graph, you have to hit the thumbs up button and look down below in the description, and you'll see a link to the graphs. You'll also see links to all the other videos so far in this series to make the mob head blanket. So if you like this so far and you're ready for the next block, if you click on this box right here in this corner, it will take you to the next mob head in this series.